Hi, this is Lisa, the original Designing Diva. I had mentioned in my last video I would show you how to make pocket folders for your faux dories and Midoris. There's two different types I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to do them in the measurements for Midori, not my faux dories. I'm going to do the standard Midori Traveler's Notebook. I think mainly because I think it would be more helpful to more people. I think more people have that size Midori or Faux Dori. If I showed you my measurements, then you'd have to have one of my books or a book that's a similar size for it to be helpful. So I'll just go with the standard Midori size. And the first style is this is out of a file folder, a cardboard file folder, and this is how it comes out in the center. You've got your two pockets. You've got these two little slits here for your magnets or whatever you want to put in there. That's the back. And this one is with the corners rounded. This one is with the corners left square. It's whatever personal preference, it's whichever you prefer. So that's the first style. The second style I'm going to show you is made out of these pocket folders. And they're plastic or vinyl or whatever you want to call them. And these are the four that I've made. These are the easiest to make. These are very easy to make. This is one I've made with, this is adorable. It'd be perfect for a travel journal with the cameras. And there's your little pockets inside. And then there's these two, again, with your pockets inside. So I'm going to show you how to make those. And this is what you make them out of, basically. This is a whole bunch of different ones that I have. These are plastic. Some of these are cardboard. This one is cardboard. I like this one. I may make it out of this one today. I don't know. I'll see. This is cardboard. So you can get plastic. That's plastic. That's cardboard. That's plastic. And that's cardboard. And they all are pocket folders. They all have the pockets in them. And they're all for ring-bound binders, which I will explain why that's an issue, or not an issue, when we make the folder. And these are two manila folders. These are legal size ones I have, but I like the colors. They're pastels, pinks, greens, blues, purples. They're all pretty colors. And then I have these, which are primary colors. Now, if obviously you're going to have more waste with this one. It just depends on what goes with your, if you want to go out and shop and get something that matches your book, your inserts, or if there's a specific, a specific design or something you're looking for, that's great. You can decorate these. You can put cardstock on these. You can stamp them. If you're artistic, you can paint them. There's lots of different things you can do. So I'm just going to show you how to make them, and then you can go from there and do whatever you like. I think I'll do one out of the plastic. Let's do this one. Okay. Now, I had mentioned the holes for the binders. And you can do it so that you don't have the holes. Now the size for the traditional Midori is 4.25 by 8.5. You actually could probably make it a little bit wider. I think The inserts are 5, or I'm not sure. So you could probably make it a little bit wider. I don't. Yeah, I do have one. Try this. No, actually the 4.25. That's it's a. This is a traveler's notebook that I cut in half. So that's the width. So 4.25, folks. And so it's 4.25 wide and 8.5 tall. Those are your measurements. No matter what you're working with, whether it's this type that you're making or the file folder one you're making, those are your measurements. 4.25 by 8.5. Now, to get rid of the ring holes, the binder holes, what I suggest is take an inch off the side with the binder holes. And then take your, these are 9.5 wide. They're 9.5 wide and 9.5 wide and 11.5 tall. So you're going to take an inch off of this side, and then you're going to take the remainder, which I think is 4.25, 4.25, off of this side. And that's going to give you two, these will be separate. You'll have these two separate. And this one will be, your pocket will be attached. This one, your pocket will be attached at the bottom, but not in the center. And they're going to be two separate sheets of plastic. So what you would need to do is attach them with, I used packing tape, and then attach, what you're going to do is, I didn't do it on this one, but what you're basically going to do is slit through that packing tape there. So then you have your pocket. Just be careful you don't cut through your folder. And now you have your pocket. So, okay, so then they're attached and you got your pocket. The only thing with doing it that way is you're only going to get one pocket folder out of this big one because you're cutting it from both sides, so you're not going to have enough room. You're not going to have enough left to make two. So that's one way to do it. This is the way I prefer to do it. I'll show you. And when you do it this way, you get two out of one. You're going to have the holes, but you can do what you like with the holes. You can either cover them up, you can leave them. This one I did, I covered the holes. This is just some washi tape and some brown stickers I had. This one, I left the holes. And you really don't even notice them. I'll bring it way up so you can see the holes are there. But otherwise, you really don't notice it. You notice it more on the inside. But to me, it's worth getting two pocket holders out of one as opposed to just getting one and not having to deal with the holes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pocket folder and make sure you're cutting the opened side. Okay, you don't want to cut your binding side. You want to cut the side that's already open. And you're going to cut that to 4.25, 4.25 inches. And it's going to take, there, it's going to take a few tries to get through. So you've got, what you're left with are these two that are separate. Those just set aside for now. And then you've got this one with your fold. And your pockets. Okay. So now what you're going to do is make sure you're cutting from the top, from this end. You don't want to cut off your pockets. Make sure you're cutting from the top, and you're going to cut that down to 8.5 inches. Okay. I would take a bone folder and reinforce your folds so they're nice and flat. It doesn't take up as much bulk in your Midori. And you're going to take some, I'm going to use, you're going to take some double-sided tape. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch because I want to leave as much space for my pocket as I can. If I use a 1/2 inch, it's going to take too much. And just fold down your pocket. And on the outside edge, put your double-sided tape. And if you have 1/8 inch tape, that would be even greater. You'd have more room in your pocket. And then just match it up with the edge of the folder and press it down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Put it on the outer edge. Get as close to the edge as possible so you have as much room in your pocket. And then just match it up with the edge and fold it down. And basically, there's your pocket folder. You can round the edges if you want. You can leave the edges square if you want. You've got the 2 holes. You can hide those if you want. If you want to put some washi tape in there. If you have any stickers you want to put on there. Whatever you want to do. If you want to leave them or hide them, up to you. But there's your pockets. There's your pocket folder. Pretty simple. Okay? So that's one. Now you're going to go back to, the way, you're going to go back to your 2 separate ones. Okay? So they're attached on one side, as you can see, and one side is open. So you're going to put them so the 2 open sides are together. And you're going to take your cutting board and you're going to cut the open side. Make sure you're cutting the side that is not attached. Okay? I'm going to cut them down to 4 1/4. Okay? And now, again, make sure you're cutting from the top. You don't want to cut your pocket. You want to cut from the top. So put them together and cut down to 8.5. Okay. So now you've got, I'll put it this way. You got these 2 that are now 4.25 by 8.5, but they're separate. So what are you going to do? You're going to attach them together. And I use packing tape. To me, that's the easiest thing. And you can make them you can make them as big as you want. I leave about a half quarter, half an inch in between them. Peel off your packing tape. I apologize for the noise. I know it sounds horrible, but peel off your packing tape and just lay it down as smooth as you can on both of them, right down the middle. I didn't quite get the middle, but that's okay. And don't stick it to your desk. That's not a good idea. Okay. Turn it over. Cut another piece of tape. Yeah, make sure there's nothing inside that's going to get stuck to the tape. And now you're going to tape the other side. Again, right down the middle. And try and get your tape as smooth as you can. Try not to have any lumps or bumps in it. And you're just going to trim it. Trim it up against your folder, so it's flush with your folder. And then fold it in half. And again, there's your pocket folder. Okay. So you've got two pocket folders out of one larger pocket folder. Okay, so that's how to make those. The one that I made for my book, what's nice about these two is you can use them as dashboards. Kind of hard with the cardboard, but with the plastic, they make nice dashboards, so you can do that too. Okay, so mine has this saying in the center. So what you'll need to do if you have something that you want to keep and you want it centered in your pocket folder, what you'll do is, I think this is 5.5 wide. So I needed, the folder originally was 9.5 wide. I needed 5.5 wide. So I needed to take off 4 inches. So what I did was I took off 2 inches from this side and 2 inches from this side. And it's 8.5. And the original size was 11.5. So I took off 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom. So you're going to keep, you may lose some of the design. This had some wording around the outside that I lost. But it's still going to be centered because you're removing the same amount from both sides. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So you can make them any size you want. And this one goes from the back of the book to the front of the book, and this is my dashboard. And this is the other half of the camera one that I showed you, that I put in here to show you how. This is how a traditional Midori size would fit in this book. Okay, which isn't bad. If you wanted to use it as a dashboard, it's not bad. You get away with it. It's kind of pretty with the pink. It actually looks kind of nice. But if you have any kind of a design you want to save and you want it centered in your book, that's what you'll need to do. You need to remove equal amounts from both sides and equal amounts from the top and the bottom. And then it'll stay centered. Even if you lose some of the design, it'll stay centered. So you can make those any size you want. Okay, these you can make, these kind you can make any size you want. Whatever size, your Midori, your Faux Dori, you know, you can make them as big as you want and as little as you want. You can cut them down to passport size. You could make a couple you could probably make, well, no, you couldn't. But you could make a couple passport size out of these too, if you want. That's what's nice about those. These are a specific design and size. You have to do the size. You have to do the Midori size with these. I mean, if you're smart enough to resize it out, go for it. I'm not. I can't figure it out. So I'm going to use, I think, the blue one to make this. Okay, so what you're going to do to start is you've got your file folder. Make sure you're cutting the open edge, not the bound edge. And you're going to cut it to 8 inches. Okay. So it should look like that, what you cut off. And then you're going to take and cut to your top to bottom. And there's usually like this little funky edge on there. I don't know if you can see it. I would cut that off. So you're going to cut it at 8 3/4 for your height. Okay. So your width is 8 inches and your height is 8 3/4. Okay. Now you're going to need your scoreboard. This one's a little more complicated. You're going to need your scoreboard. And you're going to open up your folder. And you're going to score at 3 3/4 inches, top to bottom. Then you're going to flip it. And again, score at 3 3/4 inches. And then you're going to pick a top and a bottom. I'm going to pick this part as my bottom. Because of the writing, it'll hide some of it. It won't hide all of it. And you're going to score at 1/2 inch. And you're not going to be able to do the whole thing at once. You're going to get part way through. And I know you're not supposed to do this, but flip it. I know you're scoring on opposite sides, but that's okay. And score the rest at 1/2 inch. Okay. So what you should have now is when you open your folder, you've got 2 score lines at 3 3/4 inches and a bottom score line at 1/2 inch. So what you're going to do is fold in the side ones. Get a nice crease. Okay. And you're going to need your scissors and you're going to cut on the edge here. You're going to cut a little V like that. And you're going to do the same on the other side. You're going to cut from the bottom up to your score line. Okay, that's where the V goes. And then in the center here, you're going to do the same. You're going to cut a V up to the score line. And then on the other side, a V up to the score. And the outer flap, you're going to cut it all the way off. And then when you open it, you're going to have this flap here, okay, in the center where you cut the 2 B's. You're going to cut that off. Right on the score line. Okay. And then you're going to cut the 2 ends, the flaps on the 2 ends, and cut at the, you don't cut on the score line, cut just above the score line. Because you're going to fold this over and it's going to be covered with a flap, and you want to have enough room there that your flap doesn't buckle. Okay. So cut just above the score line. You don't want to go too high, you're going to have a space there that's going to look funny. Okay. So now try it. Fold over your flap here. And fold up the bottom flap, and it should fold without catching on this part. Okay. To the other side. Okay. If they do catch, if you do find, it's not folding on the score line, because this is too long, just trim this a little bit more. Okay. So now we're going to make our pockets. And you can do this any measurement you want. You don't have to follow mine. I'm going to do 3 inches up from the bottom, and that's the bottom, not the bottom of the flap. 3 inches. And then I'm going to come down an inch from the top, make a mark. I'm going to come in an inch from the top and make sure it's the same height as your inch from the bottom. So let's do it this way. 1 inch. Inch. And then you're going to draw a line from that to the top. That mark to the side. And from that mark down to the mark down here. Okay. So it should look like that. I don't know if you can see it. You've got a line here, and a line here. And this is your inch, it's an inch down, and it's an inch in. Okay? And this one's 3 inches up from the bottom. So now the easiest way to do this is just put these together, like that. And you're going to cut on your lines. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. But just cut on your lines. Okay, and then this line across here. And then you're going to cut down your score line. So what you have should look like this. Okay. Open it up, fold it over, and there's your pockets. Okay. Now the other thing that they did, which is optional, I don't know if it actually serves a purpose, but I will show you how to do it. just because. Measure up 2 inches from the bottom of your pocket. And then go, eyeball it about 1 inch and make another mark at 2 inches. And then make that line across 1.5 inches. So, okay. Actually, it can be 2 inches. Make it 2 inches. And then just eyeball it, go down maybe about 1/4 inch. Make another line. And then connect them. Make sure you're doing this in pencil, because you'll have to erase it. And then take an X-Acto knife or whatever kind of knife you have and just cut on the line. If you need to, you can use the ruler to get a straighter cut. And you're cutting both sides at the same time. One's in back of the other. I'm trying deliberately not to cut too hard because I don't want to cut through. I was too lazy to get my cutting board, and I don't want to cut through my desk. And you can neaten that up a little bit if you want. They're not perfect, but they'll do for demo purposes. If I was actually doing this for someone, I would do it a little neater. But, so there you go. Again, you need your double-sided tape. You can use 1/2 inch this time if you want. So, well, actually, put it on your flap, bottom of your flap, close to the edge. Do the other flap. Close to the edge. Make sure your pocket's nice and flat and fold down your edge. And see, with putting that on the bottom, that's where the wording was, putting that on the bottom. Does hide it some. Make sure your pocket's nice and flat and fold down your edge. And then just, I would burnish everything really well. So it takes up as little space as possible in your book. And there's your pocket folder. You can round the corners if you want on this one too, or you can leave them square. And like this one, you can put your little paper clips or whatever in here. You could probably put in a, if you had a small Post-it note thing, you could probably put the back inside here, put it backwards, and then you'd have your Post-it notes. But you can do, like binder clips, magnets. But there it is. There's your pocket folder. And here's your other pocket folder. And like I said, these are traditional Midori sizing. So if you have a regular Midori, they should fit. Just, check your inserts, measure your inserts, and of course make them the same size if there is a difference in your inserts. But so this one's a little more complicated, but it's a little plusher. It's got a little more, substance to it. The only thing, I think these are more practical. I think they will last longer than the cardboard. You keep opening and closing, putting stuff in, taking stuff out. It's going to wear, and it's going to fray, and it's going to eventually tear on you. These aren't going to tear. These will last a long time. But it's whatever you prefer. And like I said, these you can use as a dashboard. That, not so much. Not so much the cardboard. But that's it. I hope you learned something. I hope it was educational. I hope it was helpful. I hope, now you can go make little pocket folders for all your Midoris and Faux Doris. And because they do come in handy. They really do come in handy to, if you like to carry, excuse me, if you like to carry receipts, or a lot of people use these as their wallets. So if you wanted to put money in here or whatever, checkbook, you could put a checkbook in here. You could do that in here too. Checkbook, or, money or whatever you wanted, if you do use it as a wallet. But, or, little reminder notes or appointment cards or whatever floats your boat. So that's it for today. I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please definitely leave them below. Or email me. I love questions. I love comments. I love to know what you're thinking. If anybody has any suggestions for future videos on what you'd like me to show you, please definitely leave those in the comments below. I'm always looking for ideas of what I can show you, or what you would like to know, or would like to see, or whatever it is you feel that you need a little more education on, or, you know, something that you saw that you're not quite sure how to do, just leave me a comment below, and I will definitely do a video on it. I was thinking of maybe showing you how to do a leather faux dori. I did a vinyl faux dori already. Or I could do a laminate faux dori. Those are a little bit different because the laminate and the vinyl, I use eyelets to protect the vinyl and the laminate. So those are a little more complicated when I make those. So I could show you how to do those. I don't know, anything you can think of that you would like me to do. Like I said, leave a comment below or email me. I'm thinking of probably doing videos, posting videos, not necessarily doing them, but posting them on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I have some obligations during the week. Well, I don't have obligations, but there's something I need to be doing probably for a couple hours in the morning during the week. And then afternoon will be work time. And if I give myself 3 days to post videos, I can work on videos during the week. I can work on store inventory during the week. And then I can post the videos on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe Sunday if I have another one. But, if you're interested in my videos, that's probably when I will post them, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And if you subscribe, then you'll know when I post a new video, it'll show up for you. I would love you to subscribe. I would love you to like my videos, comments, like I said. So I guess that's it for today. I thank you for watching. Like I said, I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you learned something. It's something you can use. So for now, this is Lisa, the original designing diva, and I will say goodbye until later.